What's up again, everybody? This is going to be Jund League number 21. If you're watching here live on Twitch, you can find all of my previous 20 leagues and a few extras that aren't traditional Jund already uploaded onto that YouTube. You can find the link to said YouTube in the biography of my Twitch channel page. And if you're watching this on YouTube already, remember to like, subscribe for more content exactly like this and some extras. So what we're going to be doing today is traditional Jund. The exact same list as video number 20, which I got finished recording about a minute ago. Still playing 2 Cling to Dusts. I've been very, very impressed with this card. It's been pretty pivotal, and not necessarily winning you the game on your own, but it makes sure that your opponent can't win the game on their own, because it gets rid of really important stuff like Uro, Past in Flames, Mystical Sanctuary targets, all of that stuff. And then its fail rate is cycle for a single mana. And even versus mid-range decks that seem to grind on, where you don't necessarily have great targets for this, it has had utility in just paying for and drawing an additional card. And then netting a card in a game that is based on card advantage could be pretty beneficial. Something less than normal that I'm doing is I'm playing 3 Fatal Push and 3 Lightning Bolt. More of a consideration of Mono Red and Blue Red Prowess now innovating to play Mutagenic Growth. Fatal Push does kill something through Mutagenic Growth, whereas Lightning Bolt does not, so that's a little bit of a hedge there. Also, Fatal Push will kill Uro most of the time, whereas Lightning Bolt most of the time will not. Playing 2 Terminates as my, I guess, 2 flex spots in the removal area. Usually this is some mixture of Terminate, Abrupt Decay, and Assassin's Trophy. I've been pretty happy with the Terminates, though. Most of the big things that I've wanted to kill so far have been creatures. There haven't really been any instances where I had to terminate and wished it was something that killed a non-creature, so I'm happy there. Still playing the pretty much standard 3 Ren and 6, 4 Goyf, 2 Ooze, 4 Liliana, pretty standard, 4 Bloodbraid, still pretty standard, and then on my 3 mana removal slot, I'm just playing a split of 2 Clay Command and a Pulse. For the sideboard, let's quickly take a look at the current metagame. We've got Bant Piles containing Uro coming in at first. This has been a slight shift from the Temur variants. Temur is still pretty prevalent. We even played against one in the last league. This may also just be the most recent deck to 5-0 with Uro in it. Was playing Bant, but Bant has been popular in the past, and we've seen it a bunch. Blitz finally had its crown taken away by Uro. It's coming in at second. Burn's still really high towards the top, as it usually is. Gruul a solid 4th, Eldrazi a solid 5th. Regular Tron creeping up to 6, Lurrus Aggro creeping up all the way to 7, and then just 2 or 3 weeks ago we had Blue-White all the way at the very top, but it's slowly creeped down to 8. And then we have our hero, Jund, scraping in on the front page at number 12, following Devoted Devastation, Goblins, and Dredge. So, with that said, there's lots and lots of island decks running around, namely some that we're not so great against, like Uro, so Boyle's going to be good there. I like Alpine Moon because when you're playing against stuff like Amulet Titan, it already names the problematic lands. Obviously, against specifically Amulet Titan, Damping Sphere is better, but I like Alpine Moon because you can name stuff like Field of the Dead and Valakut the Molten Pinnacle, which are 2 of the cards we really have a hard time against versus all of the Bant decks, which are currently number 1. Plate Engineer just generically fine. Now Spellbomb, obviously a great versatile mode of Graveyard Hate. We've got Klothys for the mid-range and aggro matchups. And then Brutality, just a really, really good versatile spell that has lots of uses against lots of the top decks. And then Ashiok, just a pretty messed up sideboard card. So that said, I guess I should mention I'm playing 1 Pillage just as another kind of piece of land hate and artifact hate versus stuff like Eldrazi Tron. Alright, so that's it for the deck tech. Let's jump into the league. Yeah, sounds fine. We got things to do on one, a powerful 2-drop, and then if we hit lands, things to do with them. Not bad. And the opponent even mulligans. That's pretty nice of them. Maybe we'll continue our trend of playing against Tron variants in the first round. This hand, though, may be good against them. Like, we've got the push for things like Thought Knot. Doesn't really do much else useful there. Then we'll get the 5. Maybe they are Tron. We've got the Goyf, which is our biggest threat. Pulse to kill a permanent, and then Bloodbraid to turn a tide. Could be good. Mulligan to 3? Well, I feel like they're definitely either Tron or Dredge now. One of the two. I don't know anyone else to mulligan that aggressively unless they're just really unlucky. Arid Mesa. Alright, well, it's probably Dredge then. So, what's up, Ian? It's been going well. We're on turn 1 of game 1 of match 1 of League 2. So I guess the decision now is which land I want to play. Pretty sure all of these lands are getting used every single turn, so let's just lead on the Blood Crypt, make the mana better, faster. The opponent mulliganed to 3, so not sure we're going to get an actual game. Oof, and it is Dredge, and we have to take the Dredger. That's brutal. Wow. Welp. I mean, that's one way to do it, I guess. Oof. Alright, well, if this is anything good, I'm going to look real stupid. Well, it does. Wow. Alright. We have a game, unfortunately. There's your Stomping Ground. Alright, so they've got an Imp in their hand. They can even Dredge a Loam now? Yeah. Alright, I guess we're going to try to save some life. Let's get a Forest and play a Goyf, I guess. Goyf is large. It's going to stonewall their Silver Smote. I mean, it's pretty hard to not cast a turn 1 Inquisition, but that was pretty crazy. All right, so they dredged a Loam. No, they didn't. Okay, yeah, they did. So you got 2 lands to get back, Mesa and a Mire. Oh, they milled a. Well, it doesn't even say anymore. It just says that they milled 5. So I guess that means they took the whatchamacallit, the Imp. Alright, so that was a pretty big brick for us. Pretty big brick for us in our favor. Bolt, not the greatest. Alright, let's attack. If I can play my land. Thank you. Okay. So their hand is now 3 cards, 2 of which are Stinkweed Imp. Alright, well, they got Bloodghast. Bloodghast will get back their Amalgam. They even got their Loam back. So they can Loam, get some lands, including Forgotten Cave, get back their Bloodghast. Bloodghast will get back Amalgam. They can play one of their lands, cycle a Forgotten Cave immediately, maybe dredge some more. Cling to Dust would be good here, but I don't have it. Alright, then they're doing this in response as they mill another amalgam. The extra amalgams will see the Bloodghast trigger. So this will also get back a Silver Smoke Ghoul. So I think I'm just going to push the Narcomoeba. It's not doing much else, and I really want to cast a Bloodbraid this turn. Another Bloodbraid's a good one. I mean, so they can't block this turn, but I'm in danger of just losing to damage. This is going to have to hit something good. That's not good. So I'm getting attacked for 8 here. I'm dead to them hitting another Creeping Chill. They have not yet hit a Conflagrate. I mean, I think I have to play to win, though. The issue is, like, I have the Lightning Bolt. So, like, this is an attack for 8. Next turn it's an attack for 11. That's 19. Bolt actually does kill them. But I'm taking 8 just off of their attack, going to 2. If I tap Peatland, I'm going to 1. Which means I would need to draw a basic land for that to work. I mean, alternatively, my Bloodbraid could just hit a Bolt. I mean, I think that's, like, one of the only ways I'm winning this game. Is I just let them hit me to 1 and then hope they don't hit another Creeping Chill or the Conflagrate. I mean, they've used 2 chills already. We do dodge it. I mean, they could always cycle their Forgotten Caves again. Forgotten Cave and 2 Myers, yep. Yep. So I need to dodge Creeping Chill. That's a blocker, that does it too. So yeah, now my only out is I need to draw a Painless Land, and then I need to cascade into a burn spell or any removal to get the Narcomoeba out of the way. Just another Bloodbraid. Unfortunately, that does not do it. Am I able to buy a turn? So I can Maelstrom Pulse these, block these. I'm taking 1 in the air, going to 1, but then I don't even have Peatland as a way to cast a Bloodbraid Elf. I mean, it's the only play I have. Like, I guess I could draw Untapped Land again. If they attack with everything, and I draw a Painless Untapped Land, and I Bloodbraid into a burn spell, there's a chance. But now this Peatland is shut off. And I'm just dead to the chill. Alright, so Spell Bomb, Brutality on the play. It takes the Cathartic Reunion. They want to keep the Thoughtseize while I'm on the play because those take the Shriekhorns. K-Command gonna be bad. Liliana gonna be bad. Let me not overload on hand disruption. The fatal pushes are going to be on the weaker side. I mean, that's 60 right here. Run it. I mean, we get to take all of their payoffs. We've got a thing to suppress them, and we've got a removal spell. It's pretty close. This is like the bottom of what I would keep. We desperately need to find the Tarmogoyf. Got the Shriekhorn. They do. They also have a Lightning Axe. Another land, not exactly what I wanted to see. I guess I'm taking the Lightning Axe now. I mean, these are only good those first few turns, but they're just so important those first few turns. Alright, buy the Lightning Axe. So in terms of what I'm naming, I can name Zombie to deal with Ghoul and also make their amalgams 2/2s. The other alternate is Illusion for their Narcomoebas, but they still technically enter. And then I could also name Spirit to keep their Bloodghasts down. I think I'm going to name Zombie. Not the greatest right now. Alright, let's just engineer name Zombie. If they cast their Ghoul, it'll just die immediately. Oh, it's a zombie vampire. I guess that means I name Vampire then, because Bloodghast is also a vampire. Glad I checked. Because, like, if they have an amalgam in play, making it a 2/2 doesn't mean I get to block it anyway. Shriekhorn, that's a good one. I mean, I can pulse it and try to slow him down that way. But if they hit on their first go, it's going to feel really, really bad. I mean, I'm just going to have to hope they miss on their first go. Miss. Alright, Bloodghast and Reunion. That's a miss. Alright, and we do have Vampire named. So, Bloodghast technically gets to come back and trigger their stuff, but it doesn't stay around very long. Let's get second black and more green of our own tomb. Need like blood braids and Tarmogoyfs now. Alright, there's a Tarmogoyf. That was really, really key. So we can't let them get too much more time. So that was a lucky one. And then Lightning Axe doesn't even kill it, so I don't have to clear the way with the Brutality first. So between our two burn spells, we do have lethal on this turn. Let's go for it. Spell Bomb, a nice insurance plan, but we won't actually need it yet. Alright, we take a game. Alright, so I do think Brutality gets worse on the draw, because you can't really take their Cathartic Reunion with it if they've got it on turn 2. That said, there's not much else I'm excited to bring in. Yeah, there's just nothing I want to bring in, so I guess I'm just going to play them. I mean, the Plague Engineer there did its work. That Bloodghast was going to be pretty annoying. Alright, this hand looks great, but I think it's a trap. Like, we could take their Cathartic Reunion, sure. We have a Tarmogoyf, sure, but then what? They kept a 7. These Bloodbraids are just going to be way too slow. I think we need to go to better. Alright, well, this is obviously not better. Yeah, I'm going to have to hope Tarmogoyf gets there. Alright, Goyf, be good. Yep, they have the horn. Need a spell bomb or something. Wow, that was a good hit for them. Wow. I think I'm a magnet to just having weird games. That first one, the opponent mulligans to 3, and like the one thing that they beat is their opponent inquisitioning them on turn 1, which we did. Then game 2, we somehow win with only a with basically only a Plague Engineer. Damn, so this Narcomoeba's gonna get back 2 amalgams, at least. I guess they're thinking about milling in response. Maybe they hit another one. So Goyf is going to get to stonewall one of them. So I'm assuming we're going to get hit for 4 here after they attack all and I block 1. There goes a chill. And they hit another amalgam, so this ghoul is going to get back this amalgam. They have another ghoul coming back. It's going to be rough. There's Oxing on top of all this. Unfortunately, I don't have an Anger to draw to. I'm gonna have to do something silly like hope that they get reckless and I can attack them with a couple Goyfs and like bolt them. But I mean, Creeping Chill is gonna be hard to beat. They're also getting 4 more creatures back. Between Ox, this amalgam, and 2 ghouls. Now Goyf is tiny. Slightly larger. More chills. And an amalgam. Back in a quick second. Get back all the stuff. Not a bad turn 3 from the opponent. Man, I wish I had Anger of the Gods. Alright, now I just die anyway, right? I can block this, take 1, 2, 5, dead. Very, very dead. I have Doggo. He's doing a concern. What are you trying to do? Do you want to get down? We keep getting these really weird hands. He's trying his best to get comfortable. I got you. Here. Okay, now you go. Keep this one, I guess, bottom of land. Forest. Here, you can just get down. I got you. I got you. Done. That's what I've been telling them. He said you should try getting good. I'm trying. It's not that easy. Alright, well, we're likely against Temur. So, maybe a resource game. Let's try to get this run in 6 online. Ah, yes, the run in 6 mirror. Alright, I think what's going to happen here is I'm going to fetch shock a blood crypt. Say yes. And then I'm going to leave a green available to eat something with the scavenging ooze. Ideally, I get to eat whatever they're targeting with the Renin 6. So this could very easily be a remand turn for the opponent. I would love to get Basic Forest and cast Bloodbraid. opponent's going to have to do something about this too, because we're ideally going to be attacking the Ren in 6. I would accept just about everything except Terminate here. We've got one in our hand already, so hopefully we don't hit the one that's remaining. That's a weird play. Did they not want to see what we were going to cascade into first? Alright, that's a swing. Sure. Now we have another Bloodbraid. Pretty sure I want to leave green up at all times. I guess I'll eat their, You know what, let's eat their red and 6, because if they, like, try to snap remand something, I'm going to want to make sure I get this card. I don't want to have to be forced to eat the remand now with an ooze. I'd like to not tap out of the green if I can avoid it. Uro. Alright, well, we get to eat that. They're going to have to do something about this Ren, because it's just going to be a bunch of lightning bolts at some point. Field of the Dead. That's the way we lose. It's a shark. Nexus. Oh boy. So I'm gonna need a pulse to get through all these tokens at some point. A little late on the Liliana. I mean, I guess the way that I'm winning this game through all of the zombies is just bolting them a bunch. Every one of these lands is now a lightning bolt. Yeah, I've only got 2 red. I mean, they have so many counters that I should probably just pass. Just like bolt them twice now and bolt them twice next turn. I don't want to put down ooze activations, that's for sure. I'll discard for hand size. That's not great, but fine. So another Uro here would be unfortunate because that means they get out of range. Ooh, this could just hit an Uro this way, right? Alright, we dodged it. I don't think it was worth just eating a bunch of stuff in case one of them was an Uro. Yep. I guess Force of Negation is something that could stop this. Oh, they're going to put a force on top. I can cling it. This has me 1 land short of actually killing them. Oh, I could have just eaten it with ooze. I'm a little on the stupid side. Remand. Targeting cling. Sure. A lot of stuff happening here. That works. This no longer has a target. Bolt you finally. Remand. Alright, well, we get to bolt you again. Alright, you're at 7. I guess we get to cling something now too if we want, just to draw a card. I mean, they get to fetch in response and put it on top, but then 2 bolts just kill them. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to try to bolt them a couple more times. I mean, if they sack this fetch, I think we're just going to try to go for the bolt. What I really don't want to see is a force of negations. That'll take our bolt out of the yard. I mean, we can't start flashing it back. No audio? I'm showing audio on my... It's showing audio. Yes, the audio's working. Audio's fine. Yeah, you might want to check that. Sorry. I guess you can't hear me telling you to check it, but... No, that's okay. Don't be embarrassed. You're fine. Oh, wow. They drew the Nexus? That's so tilting. So now we just lose to the zombies. We can bolt 2 zombies. Block 1. We're not actually just dead. I guess we get to terminate a zombie. Oh, you're casting on your TV and didn't realize your phone controlled the TV? Yeah, I guess so. Alright, so this gets them another zombie, which means they're attacking. So six would get through. I can fatal push one. While still being able to bolt. This game is crazy. So let's say, okay, we'll go to block. So bolting one of their zombies means I don't just die to one of their own lightning bolts. This would have me going to 3. I can eat something to gain a life. Sure. I'll wait for this to resolve. If they have 2 bolts, it just doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. Wow, that was a pretty interesting game. Alright, so that was game 1. Boil. Ashiok. Clothis. Brutality. Spellbomb. Alpine Moon. Wow, that's a lot. Alright, Inquisitions get weaker. Bolts get a lot weaker. I don't want to play the 1-for-1 game with them. They're playing Temur, so Goyf actually pretty okay. Liliana does get a lot worse. So, oops. Let's cut a push. Yeah, let's just do this. This seems fine. Sounds good. Get that stomping ground. So we have double black, we'll have a green, we'll have some red. So unfortunately a Tarmogoyf would be boltable here, which is on the awkward side. So let's just have them reveal their hands. I don't want my best threat just getting bolted down. Oh, and they've got multiple remands. Okay. This Renin 6 is going to be a hassle too. So as it turns out, playing Goyf would have been very good there. They value holding up remand instead. Alright. I mean, I'm not going to play my Goyf into the known remand when I can just play Bloodbraids next turn. Wow, Growth Spiral was kind of the perfect draw then. Because this lets them do something really impactful, even if they don't remand. I mean, we know about the remands though, so let's cast the thing with Cascade into the known counterspell. Again, I don't know why they don't just wait until we see what we get remand Cascade into. It's like I don't mind cascading again. Yeah, see, like now we got an Ashiok. We get an Uro and we get a Shark Typhoon. One Mystic Sanctuary as well. Not bad. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Snow. They didn't have the mana to Ren last turn. Is this island? Nice fetch there. I think this opponent is just relatively new. mean, they definitely don't know how to play against the Bloodbraid. Like, they should, at a minimum, wait until we see what they cascade into. Or what they should wait until they see what we cascade into. English is hard. And now our Bloodbraid Elf should have a good time taking care of their Renin 6. Fatal Push. Brick. Gust. Top. Alright, and we know about a Mystic Sanctuary, so I don't really think I want them to just draw that. Or, sorry, put it on top. You got a Cryptic and a Factor Fiction. They can ping this one more time, and then we can't activate it again, but that's probably fine. Okay, so this is the one we knew about. So this is their hand. Oh no, they cast the Ren, so it's Mystic Sanctuary something. We can Inquisition them if we really care. I think we do. I would love it if this Bloodbraid actually got to kill Renin 6 this turn. Shark Typhoon? Yeah. Don't really understand this cycle either, because we can't take Shark Typhoon with Inquisition. Now we have a chance at actually hitting something. Alright, it just lands. Alright, I mean, if they want to keep their run alive, they have to block anyway. This is a game we still probably lose to the card Field of the Dead. Alright, you got my Ashiok finally. Another one. So, I mean, I guess they could have Mana Leak. We are 0-1, James. We are in the second league. We lost to Dredge in the first match. And it was a pretty strange match, too. I feel like I say that every single time. But I feel like I get, on average, pretty non-average games. Could have Rens first. Ooh, that's fine. But it gets disastrous if they have a counterspell. I think I'd rather just guarantee to get off the field now. Because while they have absolutely no pressure, their counterspells are much worse. So if I can make sure they don't have that pressure by casting Bloodbraid, I can make sure nothing in their deck is really bad for me. Yeah, and this is game 2 of the match. We're down a match. We're down a game. We need to dodge Field of the Dead, though. Field of the Dead could still single-handedly beat us. target themselves. Alright, I think I should pop this now, because another way I lose is if they hit an Uro. But if I do this now, they won't be able to Uro. And they hit the Uro. Wow, so that was a big fade. Question in the chat is, should Field of the Dead even be legal in the formatters? Really annoying and overpowered. I mean, so Field of the Dead, I think, is one of the cards that pushes the format to be faster. Because like, it's like one of those like late game cards that are nearly impossible to beat, right? So I mean, it could be a reason why Prowess is one of the reasons why Prowess is as good as it is it can sneak under it pretty simply. Okay, fetch means they get to do it anyway. That's brutal. I guess maybe they're short one. No, they didn't put the land into play. Oh wait, that's not a fetch though, so they're still short one. Because they can fetch, that'll be the fourth. They still need one more. Alright, so now it's probably going to be pretty important that I can get this Ashiok down. And Brutality can help ensure that happens. Sweet. Alright, so they could have Veil of Summer here. I'll target myself to prevent that. There goes Boyle off of the top. A Braid. Don't know what that's in here for. We hit the Boil. At this point, I'm not sure it matters, although the thing we lose to is still probably the Field of the Dead. So maybe we just like upkeep a Boil. I would love to just get the pressure down. I mean, I guess Boil turns off Field of the Dead too. So maybe pressure is the way we want to go. Yeah, I think pressure is the way we want to go. Alright. Alright, so they can't search. Let's get their cryptic command out of here. What do we hit this time? A Sinkhole and a Thought Scour? Not bad. Gust? We'll top it. So we know their hand is just a Sanctuary now. We win. Yeah, if they had Veil, they would have cast it there. But I mean, we knew their hand was Mystic Sanctuary Cryptic, and they only had 2 in their hand. So they would have had to have drawn it off of the Veil. But I mean, it's kind of free for me to target myself, and that it doesn't actually detract from my own game plan. But if they have drawn the Veil, me not exiling their yard could be a big deal. So I think it's still probably correct to target myself there. Alright, they mulliganed. So this is probably going to be Stomping Ground. That'll set up our colors pretty nicely. Bloodbraid's a good one. Alright, so this can get bolted, but I think Ooze probably more important. I don't want to do nothing. Like, if this is their growth spiral turn and I don't want to just do nothing, let's just bottom that. My mana's already kind of tied up over the next couple turns. I don't think I'm going to want a Tarmogoyf on turn 6. Interesting time to do this. Hopefully they don't have Remand. Remand would be pretty big in fighting this Ashiok. I guess I should get Forest here. I've got Scavenging Ooze out. I've got double black already for the Ashiok. Field of Ruin pass? Alright, well I'm gonna Ashiok here and hope it sticks. Boil too. Resolves? Alright, well this is sideboard cards the game. Alright, so I guess this means this is their Cryptic Command turn. But I mean, I'm going to try to boil them in response to whatever they do. If I minus the Ashiok, it's in Bolt range. I don't think I want to let that happen. I mean, this would be a good turn to just cast the Bloodbraid. I'm gonna go for the win on the spot, or what feels like it would be the win on the spot. They're doing something. Boil. I guess I should technically wait until this resolves, but full disclosure, there's like some end step trick that I'm not entirely sure how to navigate, and I don't want to ruin this, so I'm just gonna cast it when I know it'll work. In paper, I know that I would let this resolve first. And we're not really worried about Force of Negation here because it's their turn. Actually, it is our turn, so this is just the right time to do it. Alright, so Growth Spiral is actually really good for them. Let's pair that with Mountain. And this Uro doesn't mean a whole lot. I think this is fine. Because like we've got the Ashiok in play to deal with the Uro. They're not escaping it anytime soon. So they took Uro 2 lands. Lots of zones happening here. Sinkhole. Rude. Alright. We've got the Ooze to deal with the Uro now. And I think I actually want to Ooze now while I know it's not getting countered. Additionally, I'd love to start munching on their yard. Gonna leave up max green. I don't think I mind paying 2 life to exile 2 non-creatures. I mean, if they Uro, obviously I'll eat that too. So there's the breeding pool that we knew of. Let's get rid of this factor fiction. And I guess this land actually more valuable because we know they're playing stuff like Wrenn and 6. Sinkhole is pretty bad. It competes with the Uro. I'll hold the Brutality for their Cryptic turn. Or just do it now too. That works as well. Sure. So pretty interesting match overall. Lots of stuff happened. But this Boyle is pretty good. Stone raining 3 lands. Again, I think I'm pretty okay paying some life to exile at least the Force. They can't Mystic Sanctuary now. I'll save 1 more life. There's a chance some amount of burn puts me in range. And this Sinkhole doesn't really mean a whole lot. Alright, I think I'm just going to attack first. Onus is on them. If they fetch, they're actually dead in 2 turns, unless they do something. Cryptic. Sure. Alright, so I think I'll use the Brutality now. I'm not going to escalate it. Let's not tap any green. Sure. I guess they're not playing any sweepers, right? Let's play this other Ooze. I see no reason to fear Anger of the Gods or something ridiculous like that. What I would be afraid of is them killing one of these things with like a lightning bolt and significantly reducing my clock. Let's eat at least this cryptic. Because they can fetch next turn and then have the Uro, but they wouldn't have the 5th card to escape, so I think eating one thing is pretty important. But shoot a 3. I could activate Ravine here. Just go for the kill. Probably should. I'm at beginning of combat still, so we should be okay. Oh, did you draw another cryptic? Brutal. So, I mean, that would have been the reason to not activate the Ravine there. But there's only one card I didn't know about. Oh, you're right. I should have used the Ravine mana. And I'll gain one, lose one here. Not really worried about a Mystic Sanctuary. Let's just get this Uro out of here before something stupid happens. Cryptic on top, yeah, makes sense. But unless they can redraw it right now. You got another Uro? Alright, that puts you at 15. You'll have the cryptic in your hand. More Fields of the Dead. Alright, so now if we activate Ravine, it's 4, 7, 10, 12. We still get to eat this Uro out of the yard. This means Cryptic Command doesn't save them next turn either. Because if they tap draw, we can activate Ravine afterwards. Let's get at least one of these oozes out of bolt range. Might just come down to the clock at this point. This, like, kind of doesn't matter. I guess Mystic Sanctuary is one of their higher priority cards. Let's just do, like, this. Counters don't mean anything at this stage. All my pressure is already on board. Run in 6 doesn't do a whole lot either. Yeah, they just take the run in 6 and the stuff. Alright, so again, we know of Cryptic in the hand. But if they Cryptic to tap draw, we're just going to activate the Ravine and kill them anyway. And also, it looks like the clock is just going to be a factor. Well, I guess we would have had the Fields of the Dead covered. Tap draw, that'll resolve. Then we'll activate Ravine. Good to know that we actually won instead of winning on clock. But we would have won on clock too. Wow. That was a long match. Being these weird hands. I'm going first. I have no meaningful way to interact, and I don't even have a 1-drop. This is better. Let's keep this. I'll bottom an Inquisition. I've got 2 others. So I see your question in chat. I'll get to it right after this Inquisition. Whoa. Alright, so this is Sahili. Kind of okay if they path me. Or am I? Stoneforge is really, really good here. Seasoned Pyramids are also going to be quite strong. I think the 2 cards I'm inclined to take are the Pyromancer and the Stoneforge between these. So I'll take the Stoneforge first. So the question is, I play mono black and think about splashing a color. How would you rank Golgari, Rakdos, and Orzhov in Modern? Not really considering blue because I don't enjoy control as much. So, as far as I know, Orzhov does not exist. There is an Eldrazi and Taxes deck, which is pretty cool, but if you're just trying to splash a color from mono black, there's probably not a whole lot of overlap, I'm assuming. Rakdos is missing, I think, its good clock element. Like, Rakdos mid-range... Oh, I clicked the wrong land. Alright, well, I guess I'll Inquisition. I guess, so Rakdos midrange, it kind of misses out on its, like, powerful thing. Is there another Stoneforge? I can push it, I guess. Like, it doesn't have the clock, right? Like, you can have all the controlling, fatal pushes, lightning bolts, Inquisitions, thought seizes, all that stuff. But you don't have, like, that single beater that can win on its own. Black-green, on the other hand, you get to play stuff like Tarmogoyf, Scavenging Ooze. Not Red and 6, you're not playing red. I would probably say Golgari is the best of the 3. So I really wish I was able to play Tarmogoyf there. But yeah, black-white could be fun. I don't know how good it is. I know of the 3 options, the only established one is Golgari. You do get tracker green as well. Good point. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with green. You also get really powerful sideboard cards like Veil of Summer and Collector Oof. Veil of Summer is a pretty absurd card. It's like one of those things where, like, if you have the option to play it, it's pretty much wrong not to. Alright, so I expect this to get pathed, and then I'll probably just end up losing to some number of equipment and or the combo. Let's get some green. I guess if I draw Thoughtseize, I'll want to cast it. Don't really foresee myself wanting to activate a Ravine. Liliana is fine. Yeah, I agree. Green is one of the more expensive options. Honestly, though, like, I feel like that's because green is probably one of the better colors in Modern. Because of just ridiculous sideboard cards that you get access to. I.e. Veil of Summer. Also, Uro is pretty popular. Alright, so the opponent's probably hoping they get to suit this Felidar Guardian up with some amount of equipment. But we know that's not going to work, which is good. Backup Liliana really not even that bad. I think I want to just have my mana source in play. That enables Ravine as an attacker. Yeah, I have experimented with a Rakdos mid-range deck before, and it was pretty fun. I was playing some weird stuff out of the sideboard though to make sure I didn't just die to burn and prowess. Like I was playing Aetherborn, Gifted Aetherborn. That was a fun one. Alright, I'll just pitch the land here. Discarded another Guardian. So they're keeping their equipment? Yeah, they're keeping their equipment. Well, that's not going to work if they don't actually have anything to put it on. I mean, I guess they're hoping to just, like, put a Batterskull into play. Liliana will get to Edict it, though. The next question says, am I planning on streaming any of the Rakdos in the near future? I could be convinced. I mean, it was really fun when it happened, when I did play it. And or Rock. I'd be more convinced to play Rock. Yeah. The Rakdos deck that I had built was a it was more of a for fun Dreadhorde Arcanist brew, and it did well. That was actually the first deck I ever trophied with, was my Dreadhorde Arcanist brew. Alright, so I'm pretty sure the opponent should attack Liliana for 1 and then me for 3. Then they get to play Batterskull. Yeah. I forgot about this thing in their yard. I guess this what happens when I talk a lot about non-game related things. Yeah, Questing Beast is a pretty cool thing you get out of Rock. I mean, you could play that in, I guess, Jund too, but I guess your specific question is you already have black, you want to play another color. Yeah, you would get to play the Questing Beast almost definitely. Ooh, that was really, really good. We can pulse the Elemental not on the sword, and then we can Edict the Germ. We're still very, very behind, but it at least has an empty board. Like, they'll get to bounce the Batterskull to their hand and then just replay it at some point. But yeah, if I were looking to play black-green, I would definitely look into Tarmogoyf. If you wanted to go the Delirium package, you could even play a couple of Grim Flayers. And Tireless Tracker is a really good include as well, I think. Alright, well, this is going to be bad for me. Ooh, well, Kolaghan's Command's good. That even gets back a Tarmogoyf, right? Oh no, it was Path to Exiled. Alright, so I guess I'll pass. If they equip the sword onto the Germ, for example, I can maybe kill it. I imagine they equip it to Germ. Oh, I just die instead. I actually don't just die. They'll copy Felidar Garden using the minus, and then I can kill the Sahili and shatter one of the equipment. The question is, which one do I want to kill? It's probably Sword. Sword is really strong. Key Commando is probably my best draw. It doesn't put me ahead, but it helps me catch up. So I'm taking 6, going to 8. So I've got 2 turns to find something that like helps me actually get ahead. Alright, so I sack that. It means I'm not blocking with Ravine, but I don't have a good block on Ravine anyway. I need like Blood Braid into something. Inquisition ain't gonna do it. Alright, and we're dead to just about anything. Even a Langsam Colonnade, but at this point we have no outs. Even if we Blood Braid into killing the Batterskull, we just die to the Colonnade and or the Guardian. Alright, so let's bring in Brutality, let's bring in Boil. Plague Engineer stops the combo because we name Cat and they only make O3s. They don't do a whole lot of searching. Clothis could be okay because we can just maybe sit back on it and that'll get us there. We didn't really see a whole lot of graveyard stuff. In fact, I'm pretty sure they don't really rely on it at all. This entire deck seems pretty okay versus them. We gotta make cuts somewhere though. Let's just cut all the brutalities. They don't really seem like they would be the type of deck to play a whole lot of cryptics, and like this stuff does that already kind of well. I'll cut a push. Run 6 doesn't kill a whole lot. Maybe I don't want to play the 1-for-1 game with Terminates, although it does stop the combo. You know what? I'm gonna do what I did before and just like cut a lot of the Tarmogoyfs. This puts me shorter on threats, which does make me on the nervous side. But I think this is going to be value oriented as opposed to card advantage oriented. Or sorry, it will be card advantage oriented as opposed to damage racy. Yikes. Not ideal. This hand just is actual nothing. It's better, I guess. Your 2 crazy tests, your pet cards like Bob, Lily, Bitter Blossom, and Obliterator. Yeah, my pet cards are Bob and Lily. So I understand where you're coming from. I think I'm going to save the Thought Seizes for later turns. There's like nothing on turn 1 that I really want to nab. I'll do it on turn 2 to take the Stoneforge. Alright, well they do have the Stone Forge. Take it. Here's their hand. Do I want to just do it again now? Probably, because like I'm going to want to play something to threaten these Planeswalkers. I think I'm just going to take Teferi now. Teferi is really annoying because it would just bounce the Plague Engineer. Also, it stops my Cascades. Yeah, John lost an Angel when Bob became bad in the meta. Agree. I mean, I still might be crazy and play a couple if I feel like it. I mean, I was playing one until very recently. Just pick more discard to protect them. That's what you do, Chaos? Chaos Kai? I guess I have well, they drew the Stoneforge, yucky. I drew, what was I talking about? I have two people, who for short I would call Chaos in chat, so I guess I'll have to, change that. Alright, well, unfortunately Stoneforge was very, very good for them. They're gonna get to just put in their Batter Skull. Rough. Alright, this will name Elemental. I guess it doesn't have to. Like, Seasoned Pyromancer would be that concern. But I guess with Sahili in play, the thing I'm more scared of is just like actually getting comboed. So we'll name Cat, make them all O3s. The only good thing about Bob being bad in the current meta is that there's that much less of a chance of seeing the new garbage Double Masters art. Wow. How could you say something bold? So bold, yet so brave. Yeah, we hit a Blood Braid. Unfortunately, they're just gonna flash into Batter Skull. And then equip a sword to it. Alright, well I guess unless they put the sword in now, we're taking the sword. Jeez, they have the combo. I mean, I guess we did defend versus the combo. Alright, so there goes sword. We can't attack because they have Batter Ball. Small consideration to blocking with the Plague Engineer, but then they get to combo us, so that seems on the bad side. They bottomed with the Opt. James with this tier 1 sub. Thanks, I appreciate it. Subs are never expected, but always welcome, of course. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sahili. James says, I've been trying to do this for days. Well, I wasn't really an affiliate for days. I've been an affiliate for like 24 hours. Give or take. I appreciate it, though. Thank you very much. Alright, it looks like we're just dying to whatever this stuff is. Go. No attack. Oh, you tried this sub yesterday, but it kept giving you an error? Honestly, it just might not have been, I guess, set up yet. Because, like, I actually registered for the program, I think yesterday around 6 or 7 p.m. And, Might have needed some time to process, I don't know. Shock and go. I guess shock go because like they can return Batter Skull and put it back into play if they really need to. Their life total really does not matter. I guess in the off chance they're playing Mana Leak, I'll play my land first. But see, like, this is what I was talking about, where, like, now they get to just sack their Germ and just put it back into play. So I guess I'll just plus, because minusing does nothing. This at least gets a card out of their hand. The opponent's really good at drawing Stone Forges, apparently. Alright, we die. Bummer. This matchup is probably not great. It was a pretty good matchup before they had Stoneforge, but now that they have the Forge, I think it's like too many axes that we get attacked on. I mean, we still have really good tools like Kolagon's Command, but we did not see any of them when we were already almost ahead. We only saw one when we were terribly behind. Yeah, I still gotta look into what all these subscriptions even do, James. I don't know what they do. I know you just you don't get ads anymore, right? Like when you click on the videos to watch them, you just won't get any ads. You get like an emote or something, but I don't know how to set that up. I know you get the little crown next to your you get that little crown next to your name in the chat. I know that. And you get the little symbol that says you're a 1 month subscriber. I don't know what else it does though. Let's play against some Prowess. Those are fun. Jeez. I don't think I've had more than 5, like, good normal hands. I mean, I'm gonna keep, but we just don't have anything interactive to do until turn 3. I mean, I guess, like, if you count Run and 6 as interactive. And they mulligan, that's nice. An unusual start. I would assume star means Tron, but they blast zoned on one, which has me thinking maybe not Tron. I'm like looking into the emotes that I have available. I don't really see an extra one. Alright, so it is Tron. What do they even reveal? That mine. Okay, so Stomping Grounds. Yeah, I'll have to look into what it does. Like, I know I can like upload an emote or something, but I don't actually know how to do that yet. Just gonna have to apply maximum pressure. Small chance I win a race here. I get to attack for 9 next turn. They're not gonna be able to Tron and have a lot of mana. I guess they'll have 5. Just not a little bit. They tapped their Tron lands to do it? Oh, I guess they're gonna put a counter on Blast Zone. But I mean... Okay, so yeah, they had to leave that on tap to put a counter on Blast Zone. Makes sense. So what I want to see here is something just like a lightning bolt to the face. I don't even know. I guess Liliana would be fine. I don't want to see another 2-drop creature like that. Go away, stupid. I don't want to buy your protection plan. Alright, put you at 8. So we're putting you to 5. I'm assuming you're spending some amount of mana to Blast Zone me. Just doing it now. Okay. Ah! Okay. I guess we can see if we want to scoop now. Ah, yes, Karn the Great Creator. We are dead. Pretty much any other payoff kills us there. So Tron, we get to bring in our pillage, we bring in the Alpine Moons, we bring in the Ashioks, we board out Fatal Pushes, and terminates. Turn 2 Goyf, turn 3 Liliana. The issue is I don't really have that high density of hate cards to mulligan to. So we can get Stomping Ground, play Goyf, turn 3, play Liliana, attack for whatever. Star, okay, that's better than seeing Map. Bolt's not the worst. Anything that does damage is what I want to see. Alright, they got the Tron on turn 3. I think I'm going to discard the Ashiok there. Another Edict might come up. Also, may want to snipe the last card out of the opponent's hand at some point. Surprise, there's the tower. So I can Edict the big one, bolt the Death Toucher, could bolt this one too. Yeah, let's just do it. I mean, I think it's going to come down to how many payoffs they have. I mean, they already discarded a Ballista. We just dealt with a Worm Coil with 2 cards and a Liliana activation. We've got lethal on board. I mean, if we draw a land. I mean, just like any other payoff here, it's just going to bury us. Whatever this is probably counts. Yeah, that one counts. I mean, if we draw untapped land, we get to activate Raging Ravine and attack the Ugin. So here's the thing, we can actually just kill them in 2 hits. Which I think we're going to try to do. Ugin doesn't actually answer the Ravine. And I think the only chance I have is just hoping I get to hit him now for 4 and hit him now and hit him next turn for 5. Just gotta hope they don't have another payoff. Like I can't beat another Worm Coil, I can't beat a Karn, I can't beat a Walking Ballista, I can't beat Little Karn. Pretty much any payoff. That's a big Karn. So now I need to draw a burn spell, burn spell. I mean, Bloodbraid would be great too. Bloodbraid means I have a chance at just killing them. So I've got some live ones. Bloodbraid is the best. By a lot. Kolaghan's Command gives me hope. Bloodbraid gives me hope. Bloodbraid would be the best start we can ask for. And well, Goyf is a 6/7, but Ugin will just get -2'd. Probably better off just Liliana plussing. No, I mean, I guess I should make them minus stuff. Fourth big payoff. This was kind of the nuttiest Mold of 5 that they could have had. Alright, so now it just has to be Burn Spell, Burn Spell. Not even, right? Because they've got 4, 6, 9 mana. They can pump this twice. That's 6. Attack for 6. Shoot me with Karn. Or with Ugin. Wow, back-to-back leagues not going so hot. I mean, I think I just like haven't yet had the nutty Inquisition into Tarmogoyf hand. I don't think I've Inquisitioned into Tarmogoyf once this league, have I? Last league too. Kind of strange. Yeah, I think I've been getting pretty awkward hands. I've mulliganed pretty aggressively too, to like find not ridiculously awkward hands. There's nothing fancy going on here. I think I made a few misplays. I mean, yeah, it's completely possible. Yeah, I mean, it's true, we haven't hit the best matchups, but yikes, you know what can I say? Not sure if I have enough creatures. I mean, my lack of threats hasn't been an issue. It's just my spells haven't lined up super well. Okay, I mean, this hand's good. They're playing Obosh, so I guess this is Ponza. I haven't seen an Obosh in a long while. Okay. We get to bolt that. I guess they could save it with Mutagenic if they really wanted to. They want to. Alright, let's see if that works. Gut Shot saves them. Another Mutagenic Growth also saves them. Alright. This can also get back a land for our Liliana next turn, so that was really good. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any glaring mistakes that I've made, James. I know, like, there was a turn where they, there's, like, little stuff that I should never miss, like, when the opponent had, like, Cryptic to tap all of our creatures, including a Ravine. Like, I should have definitely, like, eaten something, for example. There's, like, that. Let's get their creatures off the board as fast as we can. But yeah, I don't think too few creatures is a problem we're having. Speaking of not having too few creatures, opponent has a lot of them. I imagine one of these is going at Liliana. They hit a run for 1, I guess. I think I'm getting green here. Got the ooze and I got Goyf, so forest. I definitely want to do this now because I want to plus. This run in 6. I think ooze is probably the more important creature, so I'll just play the Goyf as my first blocker and hold up a couple Cling to Dusts. I can take out the Mutagenic Growth, I still have instant. Also, this will add instant itself. Just little awkward. Soulscar. Soulscar is like one of those cards that when they printed it looked like a good idea. And I think it was a good idea. This card's very good. It's a very red way of dealing with things that red usually can't deal with, so I like the design a lot. Exquisite Firecraft. Alright, well this will add a sorcery, so we'll have 0-1. We'll get to block. They're both going at Ren. I mean, if they're both going at Ren, I'd rather just have the blocker for another turn. I guess I can cling and then decide. Like maybe we draw a bolt or a push. We don't. Alright, I mean, I think I'd rather block one of the times it's coming at me. We've got multiple walkers. Let's just cling a walker. Get that redraw in. Okay. Okay. I think I want to Kolaghan's Command while they're tapped out. It's one of the last times we're guaranteed to kind of kill something. I mean, they could have mutagenic growth, but I think they would have played their last turn a little differently if they'd had it. So let's see if this works. I think it will, based off how the last turn went out. Oh yes, I do remember that misplay, James. I caught it immediately after it happened. But I was like, oh, I'll just like cast this Bloodbraid and then cast this Renin 6 into their Teferi. I was like, oh yeah, wait, that's bad, yeah. I mean, at least this mistake that I'm like I think that's like the one big glaring mistake that I made today, because it did end up making me lose a game pretty much. But I mean, I caught it pretty immediately. I mean, obviously catching it pretty immediately is much worse than catching it 5 seconds before you do the stupid thing, right? Don't think I want to play the Ooze with no green available. Stomp me. That makes sense. Gut shot, lightning bolt. Yep. I'm taking a lot of damage here, but Liliana going to be quite strong. I'm going to get basic swamp here so I can play Ooze and eat a thing immediately. Do that, do that, do that. Kill that. I do know about a lightning bolt though. Maybe I wait for that reason, but then I'm not Bloodbraiding. This is close. I mean, I'm at 9, and if they're bolting the Ooze, I guess that means they're not bolting me. We do have a Bloodbraid as a follow-up, so that makes me feel a little safer. Like, if I don't have Bloodbraid as a follow-up, I'm pretty sure I hold this Ooze. But since I have something to do, threat-wise, I think I'm good to make this play. Alright, so now we'll eat a thing. Gain a life. Yeah, because like they have to use this bolt, or else it goes away. Firebolt. Okay, so the flashback is 5 on that. Push, not a bad one. Let's leave up max green in case we hit our other Ooze. Gwaif's a great one too. Yeah, see, like we're not really having issues with amount of threats. Yeah, no Marty McBolt today. Ideally, like in a real event, my head is slightly more screwed on, but I mean, I'd like to not make mistakes now too. Pretty weird that they're companioning an Obosh. Yup. Yeah, I know you're joking. Come on, Liliana number 3. I mean, we're in a pretty good spot regardless. Even a fetch land is acceptable here. That's not a fetch land. I mean, we get to cling. I guess we could just cling first. If I draw a Ravine, I'll want to play it. So let me not tap out of, or let me not play a land first. I mean, let's leave my creatures. Leave one walker. Verdant. They have a land in the yard, don't they? They don't. Let's just get my creature out of here. They got plenty of those. Let's get my other cling. The second one in the yard doesn't really matter a whole lot. Alright, there we go. We drew it. We did it! Wow, I'm tired. Ugh. Mono red. Brutality. Colossus. That's probably it. There's a chance they're playing things like Bedlam Reveler, so a Spellbomb may have utility. We've got Ooze and Cling already. Kolagon's command not killing a whole lot. Same with Renin 6. Let's give this a go. Yeah, this is fine. Missing a threat, but we've got everything else. We don't have a 1 mana way to interact, but we have a way to interact. They mulligan, that's nice. Brutality is a nice pickup. I think I'm just gonna use the turn to get a Shockland into play tapped. The Spellbomb's not really gonna be good for a while anyway. So this way I can get Stomping Ground, then play Blackleaf Cliffs, cast Terminate. Okay. For a second it looked like they were stomping their Soul Scar, but it looks like their Soul Scar is the thing casting it. It's kind of funny. So we're going to terminate the Soul Scar. If they play Bone Crusher, we can use the Liliana to get rid of that. I'm at 15. Alright, Blackleaf Cliffs. Say go. I'm gonna wait, so like if they've got like sorcery speed burn, they may want to do that. Alright, so they're playing Relic, so I guess that means they're not playing Bedlam Reveler. Sure. So I could collect the Brutality to try to kill this thing. Not a great one. They've got 2 cards left. The odds that this actually works are on the high side. Let's 3-mode it. You. Oh, yeah. That was a good turn. Now we just need a creature. Like, if they go land Bone Crusher here, we get to just Liliana it. So I guess this means I get to bring out the Spell Bomb for the next game. Both there at that timing is a little strange to me. Honestly, might just discard the Spell Bomb at this point. Like, I want the land, I want the push. Like, this land redraws. Like, if this is any other land, I'll discard the land. Bone Crusher. Alright, so we get to just Liliana that. That's a little on the easy side. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good analogy, James. James says, for those who can't see chat on the recording, that brutality is sometimes hard to imagine as having the discard be worth the investment, but it's kind of just like casting 3 spells. So it's like one spell is free, or sorry, like one spell you're paying for, and then you get 2 free ones. So like if you look at it that way, then yeah, brutality can be really powerful. Dart me, so I guess you drew light up the stage. Bummer. More light up the stages. Demonstrate a loop. Alright, I'm gonna let them attack first because there's a chance they Lava Dart to try to take care of Liliana. Like that. They just really want this Liliana dead, huh? Okay. Alright, so now we're in the end game. I think we're going to be sacking this peatland. Try to find that threat. So I guess they'll get to put Obosh in their hand if they have nothing else. I mean, this Liliana might eat it before they get to cast it, though. Alright, they got Obosh in their hand. I think I want to play this land, though. Yeah, let's have you reveal your hand, sure. It might be worth more than 2 life, and if it's not, oh well. Alright, I hope you liked putting the Obosh in your hand. Alright, so we have mana advantage, which doesn't mean a whole lot versus mono red. We've got board presence advantage. Sure. I mean, I guess I'll have a Liliana at 6. Yes, James, I am colorblind. I'm red-green colorblind, which is probably the most common one. And then I am also blue-purple, as far as I am told. Not the ideal time to draw all my Lilianas. Literally all of them. Target me. Yep. I need a Brady gal. If you don't mind me asking, what do you see the colors of Stomping Ground? Well, I mean, so you know how all of the duels, like it's like one color that fades into another color? For me, it still looks like my version of red and my version of green, but my version of red and green are much closer to each other than a non-colorblind person's version of red and green. So I guess the best answer to the question from someone who's never seen, I guess, like the real version of red and green is they just look more similar to each other specifically. Yeah, I don't mind answering. It's not like a, what's the word? Like, it's not like a sensitive topic for me or anything. No, you're good. You're good. I don't mind at all. I mean, color blindness is really common, especially red green. Red green the most so. I think it's something like 1 in 11 boys are red green colorblind. It's much harder for a girl to be colorblind because it's a sex linked chromosome deal. Yeah, I feel like like you mentioned it's hard for a person who's not colorblind to I guess imagine what a non-colorblind person, what a person who is colorblind sees. But there also, remember, there are many kinds of colorblindness. There's like 10 or 11. All with varying degrees of what is seen and not seen. Bolt me, yep. I don't think I'm actually in any danger of getting burned out, as I do have this cling to dust in the yard here. Alright, let's yeah, exactly. Girls can be colorblind, which is very rare. There are some versions of colorblindness that are not sex linked, so it's evenly distributed between male, female, and otherwise. Not to categorize everyone else as otherwise. I feel like that might have been the wrong way to put it. Just people in general, it's evenly distributed amongst all genders. But yeah, red green specifically is a sex linked version. Alright, let's just cling now. There's like really no reason to not to. Let's hit Bone Crusher. Because why not? And then, I guess, exiling. I want to keep Artifact because they don't yet have Artifact. I'll keep one of the Planeswalkers and, I guess, Instants kind of free. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, like multicolor dies. That's pretty sick. It's like 1 in 10,000. Well, there are 7 billion plus people, right? So someone's got to get it. It's pretty cool, though. It's been a long time since I've had a Liliana at 10. I think my record is 12 on Liliana. 12 is a lot for those bad at math. Oh, sorry, add another 0. 1 in 100,000? Yeah, that's rare, for sure. That's like edging on a mythic rare, right? Alright, so it looks like I might beat my Liliana record. That's if I get it to 13, I beat my record. If the opponent scoops before then, it doesn't count. Come on, don't scoop. Let's beat my record. Oh, there go my clings. This is a lot of loyalty. I guess if they draw their third light up the stage, they'll want to Lava Dart us. Actually, yeah, Lava Dart's leaving anyway, so that makes sense. Don't you dare concede. I want to get a Liliana at 13. Oh, we're alive. Okay, so I should definitely just edict this thing, right? So I can kill them. Yeah. All right. My record will be broken another day. You sack a thing. I could have an Abyss for 5 more turns. We did it. Alright, so we 2-3'd again. Obviously not the most impressive showing. The Cling to Dusts I still feel were pretty strong. I enjoyed having an extra Fatal Push. I definitely felt like I was seeing it more. The Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes, I mean, they're kind of just the best at doing the job that they do. Goyf still great, Terminate still great, Renin 6 still great, Ooze still great, Liliana great, Bloodbraid great, and then this mix of 3-mana interaction probably just fine. I don't really know how I would improve on this list without like radically changing something. That said, this is 2 back-to-back 2-3s. It's not a huge sample size, and I do think what's the opposite of humble? Like, I'm not trying to make excuses, but I'm not trying to make excuses, but I feel like we got very below average hands pretty much across all 10 matches. Gonna speak to this league specifically for the purposes of the recording, but even in just these 5 matches, I think we got pretty below average hands, and we had some pretty dysfunctional runouts where, like, for example, our opponent mulliganed to 3 in round 1 and we Inquisitioned them, and we took their 1 card in hand that we could take, which was their Dredger, and then that 1 Dredger just killed us. James, you agree? Yeah, I think I think we just didn't really have good draws. I mean, there were a few games where we just got mega flooded. You think I need more pillages? Yeah, there were some games where I got mega flooded. There were some games where I just like didn't draw the interaction. I think we had maybe like 3 or 4, maybe 5 normal-ish games across the 12 or 13 that this league took. I think all 3 games versus the Temur opponent were pretty normal. That match was pretty enjoyable. And then we had normal-ish games versus our Prowess opponent just now. But against all the other opponents, I don't even feel like we were particularly disfavored from turn 1, except for against the Tron opponent. We're probably always disfavored versus traditional Tron no matter what. But even against them, we had pretty borderline hands that we couldn't really mulligan. Like on the play, we kept a hand of 2 Tarmogoyfs Liliana, and it was so close to getting there. But I mean, most hands that we keep versus stuff like that, it's gonna be super close. It comes down to what you draw anyway. Because there's no combination of what you start with is gonna be good enough to get there all of the way. So maybe I just need to refine the sideboard if I'm satisfied with this main deck, which I feel pretty satisfied with this main deck. Again, the results haven't exactly been what I like. Looking back even into the last league, because the last league and this league are the only 2 leagues where I've played exactly this list to Terminate, for example, and it didn't go very well. I mean, I think we've been getting lots of hands that are if you have a range of hands where 0% is the worst hand possible and 100% is the best hand possible, and your keep range is anything from 50% to 100. We were getting a lot of 51%, 52% hands where it's just really, really close. If you draw mildly well, you'll have a shot. If you draw really well, you'll crush. But if you draw even less than average, you won't win at all. I don't know. I think we got kind of unlucky there. But I mean, every card felt individually powerful when I had it. Just our timing kind of didn't line up very well versus a lot of what the opponents were doing. As far as the sideboard goes, didn't see the Clothis, so not much to say about that as far as this league goes. We did not see the Alpine Moons, although they would have been good versus the Tron player. I owe probably my Game 3 win versus the Temur player to a Boil, where on their turn 4 with 3 islands they cast a Factor Fiction, and then in response we boiled them. The instant aspect of it did come up because they did it on our end step. So if they had Factor Fiction into a Force of Negation, they could have forced it. So I think responding to a spell was pretty key with that. So I was pretty happy with that. A suggestion in the chat that I do kind of agree with is that we could benefit from another pillage. The only thing that I think gets awkward there is because that would be the 6th spell clearly devoted to or solely devoted to interacting with the opponent's lands, which is a lot. The brutalities were still insane. The spell bombs were still great. To be honest, I could see wanting going back up to a 3rd. The Plague Engineers have been very consistently okay. We did win a game versus Dredge because of a Plague Engineer naming Spirit to keep down both, not Spirit, naming Vampire to keep down both the Bloodghasts and the Silver Smot Ghouls. But yeah, I mean, everything in this sideboard felt fine. Everything in the main deck felt fine. Our curve isn't inverted or anything. We've got 14 1s, 11 2s, a clean mix of disruption, proactively, reactively, and some of the better threats available to us. And 24 lands, 2 threat lands, 2 cycling lands, and peatland. I honestly think this deck is probably fine. I just think we need to run a few more leagues to see if it's the luck getting us down like I hope and think it is, or if maybe the deck just isn't where it should be if I'm trying to bring it to a more competitive level. But yeah, I'm probably going to be playing at least 1 or 2 more leagues with the list fairly identical to this, maybe changing 1 or 2 sideboard cards, for example. And then we'll see if we can get any better results or if we're going to have to do something a little bit more radical. with that said, I'm going to wrap up this recording. If you are watching on YouTube and you want to watch my recording sessions live, you can do so on Twitch at Junderdome. You can find the spelling / link of that in the description of the video you are currently watching. If you are currently watching on Twitch and you would like to see my other 20 already recorded and uploaded Jund videos, you can do so at my YouTube. You'll find the link to that YouTube in the bio of my Twitch channel. So if you just hit escape if you're watching full screen and scroll down like half a page, you'll see it right there in front of you, or at least you should. So until next time, I hope you have a good one, and see you later.